Tell me what you think about Marcus. Tell me what you think about Christ. Who made their sacrifice now. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all, everywhere. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation, all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Tell me what you know about love. Tell me what you know about hate that keeps us separated. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all in every way. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Oh, love. So many can testify. Oh, love. But you still can't satisfy. Keep on praying. You wish that day would come when there'll be equal rights and justice for every man. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite. What you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Tell me what you think about justice, brother man. Oh, tell me what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation, child, child. Let us
Good morning to everyone and welcome back to Policing with You. I am your host, Shamin Odin. This morning with me, I have one of the officers from the Child Justice Unit, which is also a part of the Probation and Child Protection Services. This morning, we're having a bit of a conversation how having good parental tools help curb crime. I'm going to have Mr. James introduce himself, tell us a bit about himself, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Good morning, everybody. As introduced, my name is Terence Day St. James. I am a new member of the ministry. I'm a probation officer / child justice officer, and I mainly deal with children that come into conflict with the law.
Thank you so much, Mr. James, for being here. Can you briefly explain to us the role of the Child Justice Unit and how it connects with probation and the child protection work?
So even though the department split up into 3 units, we've got the out-of-home placement, we've got child justice, and then we've got the child care unit. Now, child justice, which is my department, we deal with juveniles. So I guess anybody from the age, from grade 7 upwards into the age of 18. However, in some cases it can be prolonged. And in childcare, they deal with the younger children, depending on what the case may be. But I know that in my department, we normally get things like a truancy, bad behavior, or any way that we can support a child in order to get them back on track. All of our departments like coexist as to one department. We all have to communicate with each other, not only for advice, but even resources. So we essentially all still work as one in order to help.
That is so important. And I like that you highlighted that even though it's divided in three, you all work as a team.
Correct.
Still. Awesome. Why is it important to discuss parental when addressing youth crime and behavior issue?
I think the most important thing to say is that everything does start from home. Parents are essentially the role model for their children before they aspire to look towards other people, whether it's celebrities or something like that. So of course, children are going to want to aspire to be their parents or be like their parents or model their behavior. So we always say good parenting does start from home before it does reach out to the point where they can look for other things on the street or towards other people.
That is so true. In your profession and your experience, I know you just had over a year experience working in the department. How much does the home environment influence a child behavior, like the life choices that they make?
Again, just to reiterate again, everything does start from home, and it's the big major part in the child's upbringing. So of course, if the child is used to seeing things at home, for example, if there was domestic violence in the home between both parents, again, the child may grow up to think, okay, that sort of behavior is okay, to mirror that sort of behavior. So again, with good parenting, it's in order to teach our children from a young age, like the correct morals, standards to have, to be able to grow up to, again, be a part of society.
Because this is the way that the child learns discipline, respect, responsibility. As the good book said, charity begins at home. So yes, it is important that, a stable, loving structure, home often produce confident and law-abiding youths. On the other hand, a home that is filled with neglect and abuse or inconsistency can lead to frustration, anger, and poor decision-making, which can push the child to risky behavior. Correct. As well. So yes, you're doing well. When we talk about good behavior tools, what exactly do it mean? Because for me, the mic came with a manual. Right. The TV came with a manual. GQ and I, we didn't come with a manual, so our parents had to try their best to see how best they can gather whatever tools they need to make us good. Correct.
So like you said, there is no guide to be a good parent. I guess it's all a learning experience. I guess times have changed throughout the years. From my father's parenting was very strict. I wasn't allowed to do certain things, but in the same breath, I do appreciate how he did bring me up. But I guess, again, it's one of those things where people think that you need to have, I guess, the best financial position to do certain things, but it's the things that are free. So again, like good communication, in taking that time to listen to your child. I know that listening to your child or a child having an opinion is something that, I wouldn't say taboo, but it's something that's not really common. It's, again, to listen and respect and obey your parents, but giving your child a safe space, in order to say how they feel, or to be able to communicate with you openly. Like, they're the sort of tools that you need in order to create a safe space for them, in order for them to open up towards you.
So you're saying that sometimes we have to tone down a bit to come to that child level, just to lend that listening ear.
Yeah, and again, it's active listening as well. It's not listening to respond. Mm-hmm. It's listening to really understand your child and think about, okay, where do we go from here, or what can I do in order to help you going forward?
I remember when my children were very young, one of my neighbors took me to a parental class, and one thing that stood out with me was these meetings, mm-hmm. family meetings, and my first family meeting, oh boy, it was about me. They spoke about the swearing,
right,
the shouting, and everybody that knew me back then, I could have swear bad way you think is Spanish or talking. So I had to examine myself. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I didn't even realize that I just stopped just so. I didn't stop the shouting right away. I still don't think I grasped that. Still shout a bit. I think it's just the Caribbean me. Yes, but yeah, sometimes we have to come down on that level. What are some of the most effective parental practices that helps children stay on the right path? We spoke a lot. We see books written by persons and their own experience as a parent and stuff like that. What are some of the tips that you can give the listeners who wants to stay on that right path?
I think the main thing is to always stay consistent with your child. Again, every day is going to be different, and it's like your child experiences different things a day. So it's the time to, again, take your time, to be consistent, and again, to have that open communication. It's not to give up on your child. Again, some days may be challenging more than others, but just to reassure that, okay, I'm never going to give up on my child. I'm always going to be there. So, there's always going to be some sort of kickback. But as long as you're consistent, I feel like, and again, setting clear expectations between you and your child as well, to have that open space, I feel like they're the most effective things.
Even to the discipline, it must be done with love.
Correct. I feel like with discipline, it's the case of where, okay, parents going to wash you out for doing certain things, but I feel like, not to say like, again, try to communicate first and to let them know what they've done wrong, and to see, again, for them to understand where you're coming from before going to wash out your child.
That is true. Okay. How does poor parental skills, lack of supervision contribute to children likely to become in conflict with the law?
Honestly, I feel like we see this often with the majority of cases that come into our department. And it's not to say that, okay, you're a bad parent, and this is, again, you might not have the tools or the knowledge or the understanding. But with bad parenting, it leaves the door open for the child to, again, confide in other people. And again, it could be the wrong crowd, get themselves involved in different things. Easy for them to give into peer pressure. Again, being put in the wrong spaces. It's always the company that you keep. So again, with having bad parenting, not creating that safe space at home for the child, because again, everything does start at home. They're going to look on the street or towards other people to gain the things that they wanted from home. So again, with bad parenting, it does allow that space for the child to look elsewhere when they should really be starting from home.
Thank you so much. You spoke about cases coming in with the same issues. Have you observed a connection between weak parenting involving in cases that come to the Child Justice Unit that you just mentioned? What are the attributes you see coming from the parents?
Yeah, so again, it's not to say that, again, people are bad parents. It's just down to, again, the lack of resources or knowledge or information that they may have. Again, parents seem to be very overwhelmed, especially if they are single parents. They could have more. It's not just them having one child. They could be a family of 4.
Right.
And then, again, they're working to keep the family afloat, so they are juggling a lot of things. So, again, they are very overwhelmed or just very unaware of how to handle situation when it comes to their children, especially being a single parent. Of course, they're going to look to the school for assistance. But when they feel like they've exhausted all their options without knowing what else is out there, it's the case of, okay, I can't go with my child. I'm giving up, And then that's when they would come to us and say, help. But just to know that, again, there is support out there, I guess, especially from ourselves as well. But it's mostly overwhelmed and not knowing what to do. That's what we normally see. And it's like, we know by looking at them, I guess, with experience as well, what they're going through, but it's hard for them to communicate how they feel. So to them, it's just coming out as anger, and that's how it looks towards other people, but there are underlying issues.
A parent saying, I can't go with my child, I give up on him, it doesn't only, hearing it echoes to the child as well. And this is one of the things that can also contribute to the child's risky behavior. Because the one person, no matter what's supposed to be loving me, no matter what, is telling me I'm giving up on you. And that is what they want, a sense of hope, a sense of place to belong. So probably we need to change our wording.
Yeah, the language used. Because I know that with certain things said, it's like children are easy to retain information. Man, especially growing up, they are going to connect with something that's more affected their mental. So imagine hearing their parents saying, okay, I can't go with my child anymore, I don't want them anymore. They're the sort of things that will be constantly replaying over in their head. And again, having the notion, okay, that my parent doesn't want me, I'm not loved at home. And then again, aspiring to look elsewhere for those feelings that should be at home.
This is true because even when I interview children at NITN, they look at the simplest thing and say, Not might not be, I might say simple. I think I lose my words there. For me, it might be something simple, but for them, it's major. Where the word in Mama's, where she said she give up on me.
Right.
Officer, she said she give up on me and she don't want me around her and stuff like that. And the child hold on
Holds
and
on to it.
gravitate to that. Yeah, I know it's a lot of work out there for you guys to do. So, GQ, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come right back where the lines will be open. You can call in and ask any question relating to what we're here doing when it comes to good parenting skills, when it comes to fighting crime.
For life's finest moments, celebrate them with Skoal Premium Lager. Pure malt, pure class, pure perfection. Skoal, class and perfection in a bottle.
I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skelec got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. Be sure to stay tuned to Skelec's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skelec's hurricane safety tips, together we can weather the storm.
Reliable and responsible. Skelec is here for you. We're in our community.
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
Good morning to everyone and welcome back to Policing with You. With me, I have Terrence James, who is an officer at Probation and Child Protection Service, who is also attached to the Criminal Justice Unit there. We're here this morning basically conversating about good parental skills that can help us also combat crime. We're not here to say that persons are not doing a good job, but we're here to say that there are different tools that you can use. There are also assistance in the Probation and Child Service Unit when you feel a bit overwhelmed and feel as if you don't know where to turn, what it is you should do. There are help in the government that you can seek in also to, not for only for yourself, but also for your child or children. Common challenges are basically in broken homes, domestic violence, substance abuse, poverty, and the lack of communication. When a child experiences instability, they may act out or turn to their peers. These challenges can be repeated across generations if not addressed. So the lines are open. Feel free to call in. You can ask any question relating to our topic this morning. So I'm going to go right back to Mr. James. Mr. James, I'm going to ask you, how does Child Service Unit, we have, highlighted what are some of the things that you see in your department when it comes to good and weak parent, I wouldn't say bad, but weak parental skills. Child Justice Unit works with parents to address the root causes of these behavior. Tell us how.
So there are many different things we'll try with any case. So again, we do provide counseling, whether it's just for the child or we can do family counseling. We have behavior management programs also. And I know one thing that we do push more as well is for mediation, especially when it comes to any situation between two parents where, again, may not be together, but
Right.
the child's involved. We'll always offer mediation where we can provide a safe space in order to come to some sort of common ground between both parties. Again, our goal is to strengthen family bonds, not to break them. And I guess that's why we're here to provide the foundation of making sure we have somewhere where we can provide support for both sides.
So we're basically saying this morning, child services, when you hear child services, they're not there just to take away a child from a home. They're here to offer support, whether through counseling, family session, mediation, behavioral management programs. You call it, they're here with the tools to assist you
Right.
in whatever help that you need. What are some of the signs a parent should look for to indicate that their child is heading in the wrong direction?
There's so many different things that you can look for. Again, if as a lot of parents do say, I know my child. So if you know your child, you know that something will be out of turn towards your
Right.
child. So again, you've got change in attitude, maybe secrecy, poor grades, negative friends, so the company that they keep. You know that they're lying. Again, everybody lies, I guess. But I mean, if you know that the lies are more far-reaching than they used to, then you know, okay, something's wrong. Again, truancy, so it could be skipping school, so following back behind people or being influenced to do those sort of things. Again, disrespectful behavior, if you know that your child's not normally disrespectful, or they're answering back, or stoops on the teeth, or got more of an attitude, okay, something's wrong, what is going on? So these are all warning signs, and again, it's very important to tackle these issues early, then allow them to prolong for it to be worse further down the line.
Yes, that is so true. So parents, you heard it, some of the tips that you can look for to identify that your child needs the necessary help, and it is important that you get that help early. Mr. James, what can parents do if they feel they are losing control or influence over their child behavior? We have a call, so I want to pause for
Yeah, no
that.
problem.
You have to put on your headphone right here. Okay, we lost that call. Caller, you can call back. We're going to go ahead. I asked what? Okay, we have a call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, okay. I would like to say about the thing, remember that we're in a world. The people to the children, when you to Sunday school, and churches. Their parents stand for nothing. You don't do anything.
Caller, we're having some trouble understanding what you're saying. Okay, we're going to go right ahead and continue with our questioning. What can parents do if they feel a bit that they're losing control or influence over their child's behavior?
I think it's very important to start off by saying don't give up. Again, the common language used that I found since working in the ministry is that a lot of parents are saying that they can't go with the children or they're easy to give up. So I guess the main thing to start off with there is don't give up. Of course, parenting is a challenge, and like you've already highlighted, there is no manual. But again, there is so much things out there that you are able to get support from. So within a school, you've got your school counselor, you've got social workers, we've got community programs. And it's not just also having programs out there for your children, it's also having those role models out there in families or friends, in someone that you can trust. If it's someone within church, it could be a pastor. It's someone that they're able to confide in if they're unable to do so in the home. And again, it's just in the case of listening more, having open communication without judgment, and just show your child that there's that you have time for them.
Yes, that is so true. How important early intervention and how parents or schools reach out for help before it's too late.
I only laughed on that because I've had a few cases that have come into the department where, as I explained earlier, there's one case where we have a 16-year-old who's no longer in high school, and we got the intake quite late. So again, whenever approaching a child, there's a lot that goes into that. We have to, get to know the child.
Stick up in. We have a call,
We got
so
a call?
we're going to take the call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning. I do hope and pray that you could hear me good. Can you hear me good? I can't really hear you too good, so you could just say yes or no.
Yes, I'm
can hear
hearing
you.
you.
Okay then. I was listening the gentleman, and the gentleman made some valid points about the question that you asked about how you feel when you're losing your time. And
Yes.
I had this conversation a day. For some reason, it sounds like a line may be messed up. I could hear it in this. Sound like a line messed up. Right? Like it sounds like somebody may be talking, but you got a lot of show in it. But anyway, you guys can hear me good,
Yes, we can.
right? What I was saying is that I had the same conversation with some people the other day, and what parents right now are facing is that you have their child, they're speaking to their child, but after speaking to their child now, they're going out by their friends. So it's more or less like it is 10 versus 1. Right? You have friends out there. Instead, you have friends that will lift you up. You have friends that will bring them down. Right? And this is what some of the parents them are facing today, because that's why you could afford to say that some of them parents are saying that they can't go with the children. But why you cannot go with the children? You yourself have to be a friend, a mother, a father to your child. That's the way how you get to your children. Sometimes you have to show the children them your struggles. Show them your struggles so they could just feel what's going on in your life. Right? As parenthood. Right? But as you're saying, more or less, you have to look out for those signs. You have to look out for those signs. And the man make a valid point with some of these things. When you start to stoop after your parents then telling you something, they ain't studying you, just look out for them signs. Sit down your child and tell you where they're going in a good way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, yes, we were asking how important early intervention is.
Early intervention is important, as the statement is very, very, very important.
Stick up in again.
Another call?
Yes.
Got you.
Good morning, caller. You're
Hello,
on the
good
air.
morning, good program. But
Thank
the,
you.
the gentleman there make some value point. But as police, some of the police children delinquent too. So we listening you all, but some of them delinquent too. They don't hear what the parents say. So thanks for the good program, and you enjoy your stay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The program is basically for everyone, even the police who feels as if they need the necessary help. The help is there for everyone.
Again, just to finish the point of early intervention and how important it is, again, we've had cases where intervention is needed from the beginning.
Right.
And we get the cases where, again, we deal with juveniles if they're past the age of 18. But again, we still have to make the contact with that person. As I said before, it takes a while for us to learn the child and their behaviors and also to build a rapport between them in order to get somewhere. So if it's far gone, it's not the case where we give up because we're still going to come to the case with an open mind and see what we can do or what support we can offer them with the age that they're at now. But at least it gives us a fighting chance in order to get through to the child if it's brought to us early rather than late. It's not the case of, like I said, there's no parenting guide. So it's not the case where you feel like you have to do everything alone. There are agencies out there are people out there. And it's just highlighting something one of my co-workers said, Miss Huggins, she's always said that she misses the days where it took a village to raise a child,
Right.
where now the notion is like, oh, it's not my child, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. So it's a case of we all need to come together for the betterment of the youth of the Federation, for sure.
Thank you so much. We're going to continue with our question. How does Probation and Child Protection Service supports family in crisis and those struggling with parental challenges?
So like we briefly touched on before, we do do so much things within the office before, again, it gets to the final point of the major things. But again, it's the case where we provide, again, family counseling, there's rehabilitation programs, which again is tailored to each individual. We also monitor children under supervision orders, and ensuring that they are in school, behaving responsibly, and also receiving the care and support that they do need, again, if that's in home or within school.
So I want the listeners to listening and viewing audience to understand that. Again, I'm going to say there is help.
There is help out there.
There's help out there. Are there specific programs or workshops that focus on strengthening family parental skills?
Like I said, I know that we do quite a few things in-house. So again, when we do have mediation, and I know that we do work alongside the National Counselling Centre in order with referrals. And I know there are other programs that are out there. I know that, for example, I had a case with the Child Justice Committee, and the juveniles were recommended for diversion. And it's the point where we do get creative as well. It's like who you know in order to get them into certain things. So we focus on their interests. So for example, if they're interested in mechanics, we get them into an auto shop so they can build on their skills. My recent recommendation was to the Carding Home for the students to also help the older generation, so also try to give back. So there's a lot of different programs that we can create. We try to be creative as possible, because we know that, again, there's not much funding. But we do try our best and try to create those connections with other people.
What about for the parents?
The parents, again, is always on-hand support. Like I said, we do have counselling, not just for the child, but family counselling as a whole, for everyone to be on the same accord. And again, we do also promote, again, having that mediation, so it's more informal. You don't feel like you're being judged. It's more of a conversation and how we can better ourselves for the child.
And I also think that gender affairs do also from time to time have parental
Correct.
classes and stuff like that. So they also help out there for us as parents. It's not that we're saying that you're not doing a good job, but it's just to add and to complement what you're doing.
Correct.
Thank you so much. We're basically going to wrap up now. Is there anything that you want to leave with the listening and viewing audience in reference to your department and getting help, early intervention for the youth?
I think it's just important to say, again, with the parents of the Federation, it's not to feel like you're alone. I know a lot of things about how people may view you, what people are going to say or what people are going to think, but the main important thing is your child and not to give up. Again, there is support out there with ourselves, the police and our other agencies, but it's just to know that you're not alone, and again, our ministry doors are always open and we're here to help. I think that's the most important thing to say. Just to highlight as well, we know that it's Child Abuse Prevention Week coming up from the dates of November the 16th to the 22nd. So again, Probation and Child Protection Services are starting off this Sunday with church service at the Moravian Church in Cairn at 9 o'clock. Then Monday we are doing school visits, and then Tuesday the 18th of November we do have a family movie night, Crocs, Jammies and Chill at the Caribbean Movies starting at 6 o'clock. On Wednesday the 19th, we are doing again school visits. So one day we're going to go through the west side, and the other side we're going to do the east side. Thursday we have the Universal Children's Day, so we're asking to wear blue. And Friday the 21st November is the Blue Wave on the street. So again, meet us on 4th Street at 12 p.m. midday. And then Saturday the 22nd is the Blue Wave on the move. So we have the motorcade. So again, it's just highlighting the importance of breaking the silence, building the future, and raise your voice for the voiceless.
Oh, thank you so much for that. For the movie night, anybody can come. What do they have to do?
So anybody can come. It's the case of, to my understanding, if I'm correct, if anybody of my co-workers want to correct me via WhatsApp now, please let me know. But my understanding is the case of going to the movies with your family and taking a picture in your pajamas, Crocs, and promote that. We know that on Tuesdays, the cinemas have a discounted rate for people anyway. So it's just go with your family as an outing to take your pictures and to tag us on social media, just to, again, highlight the awareness of Child Abuse Prevention Week.
Awesome. Mr. James, I want to thank you for being here. Parents, you are your child's first and most important teacher. You don't need a perfect, you don't need to be perfect, just be present, patient, and proactive. The love, attention, and example you set at home can change not only your child's future, but also the future of your community. I am Shaminuddin, your host. I want to thank ZIZ, Mr. James from Child Justice Unit, and you, my listening and viewing audience, the Almighty God, for the time that He has lent us to be here. See you next time. God bless.
Thank you.